This lesson focuses on transforming parent functions. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on shifting them left, right, up, and down. And we're going to start by looking at something that's really generic, so it's using a bunch of letters rather than actual numbers here. And out of this whole mess, the things that are important are the A, the H, and the K. Changing these things on any parent function changes the way that it looks. It either shifts it, or it stretches it or compresses it. Today, we're going to focus only on shifting. And as it turns out, that's the H and the K. If I put numbers there, different types of numbers, positive or negative, that's going to affect how it shifts up, down, left, or right. And so let's get a little bit more specific here. Okay, so on the inside of the parentheses deals with shifting left or right. So I'm going to make a little note here. The H then shifts left and right. And to be real specific here, because this automatically says x minus h, and that's not a typo, it is minus by default, then that means that whenever h itself is positive, we still see the minus sign, because the minus sign is supposed to be there. But if h is negative, then you have minus and negative, and then actually this would say something like plus. So let me write it out where it's a little bit more clear here. If you're seeing something that says, for example, x minus, I'm going to use a number 5, then that means it will shift right 5. Because technically the h is positive 5, because the minus sign is supposed to be minus sign. So positive 5, that's right 5. But of course it's confusing because it looks backwards. The bottom line here to remember is that as far as the h goes, minus actually goes right and plus actually goes left. That's really the bottom line. And so then that means here that if I had x plus 5, then that would actually go left 5 spaces. So there's your first part of shifting, which is horizontal shifting. And horizontal shifting happens inside of the parentheses, and it kind of happens a little bit backwards of what you expect. A minus 5, for example, goes right 5, and a plus 5 goes left 5. Outside of the parentheses, it's a lot easier. This plus k deals with your up and down. And so, for example, if I had, for k, if it was plus 1, that's an easy up 1. If I had minus 1, that's an easy down 1. So the k works exactly like you would think it would. Up is plus, down is minus. It's the h that works backwards. So it's a little bit confusing. You might pause and reanalyze that a little bit, maybe rewatch that part. So here we'll see an actual example of let's shift some stuff around. I see two things going on here. A minus 3 inside the parentheses and a plus 1 outside. And we're going to use this little dashed line here as kind of a guide to shift the points around, because this is the parent function that we see, but we're going to transform that parent function. So to be clear, the h is actually 3, positive 3, because remember it's the opposite sign. And then the k is 1. And so when that means, then if h is 3, that means we're going to be shifting right 3, and we're going to be shifting up 1. So take any of these points here from the parent function, shift them right 3 and up 1. So I'll start with the origin point and go right 1, 2, 3, up 1. There's your first point. Go right 1, 2, 3, up 1. Right 1, 2, 3, up 1. And I'll just use those points there. And there's that side of it. There's the other side of it. And as you can see, I still have the same general shape, but it's been shifted right 3 spaces and up 1. Now here's a different example using a different parent function. The idea to notice here is that it doesn't matter which parent function I'm using. All of them behave the same way. Inside with the x is shifting left and right. Outside shifts up and down. So here when I have x plus 2, that means we're going to shift left 2 spaces, and the minus 4 outside means we're going to shift down 4 spaces. So take these points, go left 4, down 2 from the parent function. 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Part of the reason why we needed to learn all those critical points was so that we know how to take a parent function where it belongs and how to shift it. Take this, go left 2 and down, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 2, down 4. Okay, and then that's enough of those points to draw that, just like that. And once again, the same shape is preserved, it's just been shifted. We'll do one more example. So this one, it's the absolute value, which is V shape, and the shifting on the inside is left and right, minus goes right, so this is going right 1 space. The minus 5 on the outside tells us we're going down 5 spaces. So from my parent function points, my critical points of my parent function, I'm going to take those points, I'm going to shift them right 1 and down 5. Right 1, down 5. Right 1, down 5. Next one, right 1, down 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mean, obviously I've got enough on this line here. Let's go the other way. And actually, if you know the way your parent function works, then you would know for absolute value that it's just got a slope of 1 or negative 1 depending on which way you're going from the vertex. So I just know it's going to go up and over 1 here. So the more you know your parent function, the more quickly you can do this kind of stuff. And so I still have the same V shape here. And there you go. Make sure that the biggest thing you got out of this is how to tell when to shift left and right versus up and down. And make sure you fill in the WSQ. See you tomorrow.